People often think that spiritual experiences, by definition, have to come from a spiritual world. However, in our previous video, we examined why it is conceivable for religious and spiritual experiences, or RSEs, to be intermediated by a physical brain. We also explained why this does not preclude the existence of a world which is not wholly on a physical plane. People who favor a particular approach to RSEs might not be satisfied with this. On the one hand, those with strong spiritual beliefs may assume that saying the brain influences their spiritual experience could eliminate their trust in the existence of an untouchable God that is unexplainable. On the other hand, materialists may fear that introducing an abstract idea would eliminate the possibility of rigorous scientific study. Holding on rigidly to one's theories of what is spiritual can prevent further discoveries about spiritual reality, which has the potential to be more expansive and profound than we think. In any case, however spiritualists and materialists may be opposed, any theory which seeks to explain spiritual phenomena cannot ignore the evidence that RSEs, whether they come from a spirit world or not, are mediated by activity within the brain. A neural mediation hypothesis proposed by religious anthropologist W.J. Wildman allows for both spiritualists and materialists to come together to investigate how one of the most complex organs in the body can influence one of the most potent experiences known to humans. This video will describe some of the current theories on which parts of the brain are responsible for RSEs. But first, let us talk about the subjective experience of RSEs. We need to identify what phenomena we are referring to when we are looking for the source of RSEs. Most people have an idea of what a spiritual experience is. For example, surveys in Britain have found that between 20 to 40% of people report having at least one spiritual or religious experience. Because culture and religion influence the interpretations of RSEs, it would be helpful to have a religion-neutral description of RSEs. The work of the Canadian psychiatrist Richard Buck is suitable for this. Buck gave 9 features of mystical experiences in his 1961 book, Cosmic Consciousness. These are: 1. Feelings of unity. 2. Feelings of pure objectivity and reality. 3. Transcendence of space and time. 4. A sense of sacredness. 5. Deeply positive moods like joy, peace, and bliss. 6. Feelings similar to that of knowing an enigma is real. 7. The feeling that words are inadequate to describe the experience. 8. Feelings of transiency and 9. Positive changes in attitudes and behaviors after the incident. Now, we will look at some of the experimental results. Experiments examining brain activity during RSEs do seem to fall within this description. Our brain is a hive of electrical activity. Electroencephalograms, or EEGs, measure these activities. They display 4 significant brain waves: beta, alpha, theta, and delta, which give us a clear picture of our thoughts, emotions, and behavior communicating within our brain. For example, experiments by Canadian researchers in 2017 on people undergoing shamanic trances reported a weakening of the me, not me distinction. In other words, a feeling of unity. In their report of the Mongolian shamanic trance, the researchers observed the brain using electroencephalography. They noticed that there was a general shift to the right hemisphere where dominant activity appears. Also, a more significant proportion of energy of alpha band brain waves correlated with relaxed wakefulness, creativity, and free association. Greater amplitude of theta waves corresponded to coordinated activity in the brain's septal areas, amygdala, and hippocampus. Subjectively, this is associated with emotion and memory processing. Increased gamma wave amplitude corresponding to conscious information processing was also noticed. Synchronization of left and right hemisphere activity, and there was a general shift to parasympathetic system dominance, resulting in a release of the body's opioids. This observation objectively correlates with feelings of ecstasy and decreased ability to feel pain. Other scholars have corroborated the right hemisphere dominance in brain activity. British neuropsychiatrist Peter Fenwick noted expected right side dominance since the brain's left side is more closely associated with analysis and the ability to use language to categorize objects. Therefore, lessening these abilities is consistent with the feeling of unity with the universe, indescribable experiences, and transcendence, which are characteristic of RSEs. Also, the increase in theta and gamma wave amplitude corresponding to conscious information processing is consistent with subjective reports of higher attention levels during RSE. In magnetic resonant imaging studies done by American researcher Richard Davidson, Buddhist monks in meditation showed increased activity in regions of the brain associated with attention. The changes in multiple parts of the brain were also consistent with Canadian researcher Mario Beauregard's studies on Carmelite nuns in deep prayer. These studies suggest that the feeling of having a spiritual experience is neurologically and personally similar between people, regardless of religion. More research is needed. The presence of specific wave frequencies and the activation of large brain regions are a rather simplistic explanation for the precise rules under which the brain manifests RSEs. The findings so far are essential, though. They show that whatever the cultural or religious background is coloring one's experience with the divine, spiritual feelings are similar. However, for now, like in ancient times, the experience of seeing God remains indescribable.